Hey there, what do you say there, world? This is the Racers Recap, and I'm your host, Diana.
Name Justin.
James Earl.
Corey's in Mexico.
So he's a choppy connection.
He's El Choppy Conexión. And today, all the way from Afghanistan,
drum roll,
the team leading the pack on Mother's Day, Team Mom and Dad. What's up, Tara? How are you?
Good morning, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy to see you guys.
Are you in the future? Are you like on Tuesday?
I am in the future.
Oh my gosh.
Are
things good in the future?
Yeah, what's tomorrow like?
That's great.
Dark, and there's a beautiful moon.
She said this better be worth it because she's literally getting no sleep for this. She's like early in the morning. Is it morning?
It is bright and early.
Oh man. Well, we really appreciate it, and if you have to go for any reason, we get it.
Cool.
All right. So do you guys want to get any questions before we get started? Or do you want to jump right into it?
Well, I just want to jump into a big thank you so much, Tara, for serving us and for serving our country.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
And especially a big Mother's Day, a special happy Mother's Day to you. I know you're away from your kids, so it's probably a difficult Mother's Day, but I mean, we're thankful that you're doing what you're doing. So that's my piece.
Thank you so much for recognizing that. Keeping my eye on the prize, getting home to my baby.
Yeah.
There you go. Do you know a time about when you're coming back? An estimated?
I don't. It should
months,
be
years, weeks?
Summer.
Oh, yeah. It's up in the air right now. So.
Oh. Well, let's get into it and have some fun because this was a great leg to talk about. Not so much structural design, but we'll get to that.
Hey, Justin, can I ask one question before we get into this episode?
Absolutely.
So, for you, Miss Tara, what made you choose last place Joey at that starting line?
It was a total crapshoot. So this is, of course, everybody's sizing one another up for that whole week before we started. We weren't allowed to talk, but he had a Boston hockey hat on, older guy. I wanted somebody like my husband, a little bit more experienced, maybe somebody who had kids. I didn't want somebody who was 4 years old when I was graduating from high school. I just knew what I wanted. And on the first challenge, I actually saw Joey up front with Redmond and Seth and myself. Olive was up there on the run back. I actually stopped to verify the flag, so I got delayed a little bit. And Joey he had the wrong suitcase, so he had to turn around. But initially, he was up front, so I was able to witness him as a runner. And being a runner, I knew I wanted a strong runner. So he wasn't as bad as I think. But I definitely chose the underdog, and I made the right decision.
That's awesome.
And I just have a question. What's the reception been like for you in Afghanistan? Because I feel like you get to enjoy it, in a special way. Are you the, hot thing on campus, the big shot on campus, whatever the saying is?
No, I mean, my comrades here, everybody's so supportive. And on Friday nights, because it doesn't air till the following day here, we all get together in the little chapel area and we have a party. And I have super fans, and then I have some people who really don't give a crap. So it's all good.
It's just like our life. For
half of my students, I was like the big, what is it? The big fish on campus.
No, the big dog on campus.
And then for some students, they didn't know who I was. So I kind of like that about it. It's something that is really big and something that, you could trip over us and not know who we are.
Yeah.
People who know what the Amazing Race is know what the Amazing Race is.
Exactly.
And then people who've never seen a single minute of it. So
it's like a click. It's a cool click. All right, people in the chat room, we really appreciate each and every one of you for taking some time out today. We're going to get to it. If you guys want a thumbs up, like, and share it, we can get some more people in here and get the conversation started. Somebody want to go remind somebody season 29 cast to jump in here? Let's go.
I know.
Let's go. Matt and Redmond kick it off at 11:15, talking about just having fun with each other. That's what they do, and that's why they're winning the race.
They're like little girlfriends.
Oh, I love it. I'm telling you. I said it last week, and I'm going to say it more this week. I'm developing such a little man crush on their team.
I think, yeah, and it's funny because some people can't get over that initial edit of Redmond to see that he's just a playful dude, and they kind of still see them as villains. But I'm really thinking that they're getting a better like us edit now, rather than the villain type of edit. So
I think once Vate and Ashton left, like that kind of disappeared out the window.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. Yes, I'm calling you cool, Michael Jenks. You definitely are a cool cat. Team Fun is almost an hour behind them. I didn't realize they were that far behind. 50 minutes behind Matt and Redmond. And they talk about being so in sync that they're almost the dream team. And is it like foreshadowing when you start to hear that in the beginning of the episode, knowing that that's about to be a problem for them?
Yeah, there's a little bit of foreshadowing in this episode a couple times.
But do you guys think that when you hear it, or just now that we know it happened?
I don't think that.
I didn't read that much into it at the front end because they had been doing so well. And if you look at it, when that interview happened, they were in their outfits from the last episode. So none of this had happened yet. So if you think about their mindset at the end of last lead, they kind of were the dream team. They've been chugging along, not really having any problems. Other than the passport lead, they're doing pretty good.
All right. Team Mom and Dad is about 13 minutes behind them. And then that's where it separates again by a half hour, Brooke and
I
Scott.
think this is where the teams separate in level of like ability.
Well, Brooke and Scott are just lovely. That's how they describe their relationship. And Team Lolo, they talk about just being drama-free. I think they're drama-free. I think do they talk to each other like during the race? Are they just quiet and smiling the whole time?
I think they are fun people who have unfortunately been in the middle of the pack, or middle to lower end of the pack the entire race, which is the boring place to be. So I think that's why they've been so underplayed. Because I've seen glimpses of awesomeness from them, like personality-wise. I just think, unfortunately, where they've placed the entire race has put them in a under-edited spot on TV.
What do you think, Tara?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that.
Are they a quiet team?
No. Logan is a little quiet. I didn't really get to know them as well as some of the other teams. I always took time out to really sit aside. Like when we were in Norway, Logan and I spent a few hours at a train station just getting to know one another, because up to that point we hadn't even really talked. But London is just, I like to say she's got joie de vivre, just this joy of life. She's alive and bright and full of energy. She's a big ball of love, and I really like that about her. But no, they're not quiet. They're just in the middle of the pack.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure we're getting a fair assessment here. I know James Earl is usually on point, but I just want to make sure.
I can read people. I can read them like a book.
Yeah,
also,
you can.
One thing, Corey just texted me. Unfortunately, the Mexican Wi-Fi is not being his friend, so he's going to be in the chat on YouTube. So he'll be hitting everyone up there.
Appreciate that. Thanks, Corey, for trying. Having some issues. All right, let's get on with this. All right, Mike and Liz, they are afraid that the self-drive is coming up, and they should be because they haven't done a positive self-drive yet.
Yeah, but there's some foreshadowing where Liz says, we didn't do very well on our last self-drive, and we're going to work on our communication this time.
Yes, and then Mike with the famous, we're not going home anytime soon.
I feel like all of us have. Here's the thing, though. In fairness to them, I feel like every single one of us in here has footage of that saying we're not going home anytime soon. And the moment you're out there, like boom, putting that in.
That's the way they do it. Them damn
it's almost
editors.
like stock footage. Can we just get a cut of you saying you're not going home?
Yeah. There was Pat. Let's go. Enticed them to safeness. All right, here we go. The private plane that I'm so jealous of. Tara, how nice was this private plane that you guys took to Bari, Italy? This looked like it was like a millionaire's jet that they just said, hey, why don't you use this?
It was a millionaire's jet. I have never, ever in my life been on anything like that. It was, well, first of all, when we got to the air terminal, we were in our own private, I don't know, leather couches. There was nobody in there. There was food everywhere. They had like Perrier on the table.
Damn.
Like, where are we at the airport?
Got a private terminal, private plane.
I'm jealous because our asses slept on the top of bars and sleeping bags.
I got shit on by seagulls. So it was as nice as I thought it was. Okay, I just want to make sure that I have a right to be jealous, because and the 16-hour tour, a 16-hour boat ride, was it beautiful? Was it grueling? Was it just I want to sleep and eat?
It was dirty and kind of, you're back in mass transit and Gen Pop. So I was tired. I was like, everyone was up on the deck making friends with, whoever was on the ship, and I needed rest.
I'd have been right there with you. I'd have been like, bye y'all, I'm going to bed.
See, that's smart, Tara. You're playing smart. You're sleeping when you can.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, that's definitely an opportunity. Did you guys have any information about what was coming up next? Was it a time when you guys could sit and do some research, or is it a time to just chill and socialize and relax?
There were some maps on the boat. I mean, everybody, was trying to work their own, their own plans. All I cared about was that we had just left Italy and now we were going to Greece. Like, how much better could it get?
Absolutely.
I agree. You guys have a good leg, so like a good horse.
Yeah, they land, and immediately you guys find out that there is a double U-turn directly ahead, but you got to drive 100 miles to get there.
Yeah.
All right.
And
All right.
once we got off that ferry, you saw the cut. Everybody was running to the cars. Joey and I were just like, let's drive. So I started navigating, and there was a beach road that followed that river, kind of. It was the ocean, really, but to that bridge. Some people ended up going through town, which curved the beach road. Joey and I took the beach road.
It's brilliant. Because that's going to be quicker than a town. Like, it will be.
Yes.
It was brilliant until the road ended, and then we got lost at the end, which they didn't show.
But you still made it there first.
We did, and we stopped so many times because I was a paranoid wreck.
Yeah, it seems like this is where you take control, and where Diana noticed early in the season, and it's been a continuous thing throughout the race, that you have been like to take charge, and it's kind of your job anyways to lead men into battle, lead men into whatever. So you just like naturally boss Joey around, and not in a bossy way, but in a way where it's like, hey, big guy with muscles, go over there and lift things. And he's like, okay.
Now, that also means he's probably a very good husband.
We worked well together. Hopefully I don't come across as bossing around too much, although my husband would probably say I am.
No, I don't think you're bossy. I love you have like the perfect amount of sass, and it happened to, I pointed it out when y'all were running to knock on the doors that one day, and when you this was it, and when you got there, you're like, see, what now? Like, I love that moment.
That is great. They find out that the double U-turn is ahead, and I like the fact that you have to at least earn it by having a good navigational skills and a self-drive. There's something there. But Diana and James Earl was noticing something that I'm sure he's going to get into that have a lot to do with this. As Scott tries to get Brooke in a positive mood, and it's not working. It seems like it's almost a joke with him, but it's an ongoing thing that she is constantly negative about everything. Even in the car, it's like, oh, the right directions. Oh, sure, we'll see. Do you think that's really going to affect her in the long term, or is it just something where they'll get over it and move through?
I've said this for the past couple of weeks, and I'm going to continue to say it. I think that they have some issues with the negativity verbally, but they are able to work through the challenges, work through all the detours, work through everything to get to where they need to. It's just the road to get there is not the most pleasant. So I can't knock them as racers. They just aren't, when you have them up on TV against Team Fun, who's gonna jump and love and scream no matter what they're doing. They could be like stepping and poop and like, oh my God, I stepped in poop. And they're gonna be super pumped about it. Compared that to the Brooke and Scott, I just think it's a very different contrast. I'm not saying Brooke and Scott are wrong because they're still in it and they're still doing well. It's just different.
Right.
Yeah, I think Scott's given her a couple opportunities to be positive, like to kind of try that try that role on, and she's just shutting it down.
Well, she shines a little later, so
Yeah, she definitely does shine.
And we saw her on this show a few weeks ago, and she is a joy during this. Like, she was making me laugh. I think it was just, I think in that situation, she kind of responds to cracking down, taking things a little more seriously, taking things a little more harshly. And that's just how she handles the stress of the race.
All right. Well, I think positive attitude always helps. I think negativity is not going to help in any way, shape, or form, and there's no use or point of it on the race. It's just going to hurt the team. But Scott and Brooke talk about U-turning Mike and Liz because they have a speed bump, and that'll give them a better chance of staying in the race if they know Mike and Liz are that far behind. Do we agree with this strategy?
Is this to me? Is this to me? Am I going to be the bad one here? Okay. So here's one thing. I was talking to Justin and Diane a little bit beforehand about this, and I think the U-turn is kind of evolving in the race. I think the U-turn in the race used to be, it was after the detour, the strongest teams would get there. They would get rid of the weaker teams or maybe try to block some people out, and that's what it's always been. And I think now it's becoming more of a social thing. And we've seen it, I think, all 3 times this season. It was before the detour. Correct? I'm not incorrect in saying that, right?
No, that's right.
And I think it's becoming a more social thing of, you know what, we're going to need these teams to like us. We're going to need to make some friends so that when they get to the U-turn board, they're going to U-turn someone that's not me. And I think that's what this is, the U-turn has become. Uh-oh, did we lose Tara?
No, she's here.
Okay. So I think that's what it's become. With Brooke and Scott, I don't think they did wrong, but I think they did something dangerous because in the situation, if Liz and Mike had survived, I think they would have had a very big target on their back for someone that's going to try to take them down every step. So if they did it, they were going to have to get them out, and it worked in their favor. It does suck for Mike because he did kind of get her in a deal where, like, I'll help you out, just please don't U-turn me down the road. And she went back on that.
I know that. I love that they flashed back and got her verbally agreeing to a contract. Judge Judy would be like, "Listen, honey, you verbally agreed to a contract."
Yeah, but you don't know if that's for like the next U-turn or if that was a from here on out for the rest of the race.
She was like, "No U-turns." He said, "Don't U-turn me," and she was like, "Done, I promise." Granted, they may have chopped it. I don't know if they chopped it, but what I saw showed that.
Oof, oof. What do you think about this, Tara?
What a mess. It was so long ago. I'm trying to put my mind back there, and all I can think was that there were conversations about alliances and people kind of working. You know how it is. Joey and I, we wanted to run our race. We didn't get involved with that at all. So we'd be sitting on the airplane and people would be approaching us sneakily while someone else wasn't watching. And there was constant talk about who's going to U-turn who, or, whose side are you guys on? And it was just, it got to be too much. I couldn't take it anymore. It's like, put my head down and close my eyes and go to sleep.
Wow.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, though. Like, I think, I don't know what I'm going to say.
She likes to stay away from the drama and avoid those types of situations at any time, and doesn't want to get involved.
Too.
I know you just like that. It happens.
And I was going to host.
She was going to host today, but she decided against it.
It'll come back to me.
See, I like being in the drama. I like just reading it to me.
I got it.
Oh, yeah.
I got it.
The king
I got it. So in the car on the way, Scott was saying how, like, there's a U-turn coming up, and in order for us to stay in the game, we have to, like, they were already talking about Mike and Liz and pushing them down further.
Right.
And I'm like, they're in last place, and they have a speed bump. They're not going to be any further back away from where you are than where they are right now.
Yeah.
So I feel like, your assessment, Tara, about, groups of people clicking is just a natural thing. And that kind of is made clear by their choice in U-turn because Redmond and Matt are clearly a stronger team.
Yeah, 100% stronger.
But like I said, I'm not faulting them. I'm just saying it was big risk, big reward. Because I'm telling you, if I'm Mike and I survive this lead at the next detour, I'm just going to figure it out and do it for everyone else and not Brooke so she can get out of there.
But I feel like the big risk would have been to go after a strong team.
Tara?
Go after a Logan in London at this point. But there's clearly some sort of alliance or friendship.
Right. So it seemed Brooke and Scott, who aren't a weak team, were more friendly with Lolo, and they kind of had that going on. And I think Brooke in London came to some kind of commitment early on, as much as Mikey, Lizzie, and Joey and I did. We just had that friendship.
I feel like,
How do you guys feel about this? Brooke and Scott get there, and immediately you turn Team Mom and Dad.
I don't know if you can.
That would
because I thought about that. Tara, well, because I thought about that then. Like, why wouldn't
if you're doing it, go for first place. You're racing for first place at that point. Take the team out of first place, and now you're in first place. Don't go for the team behind you. It's way back. There's one team ahead of you. And that's not even ahead of you anymore.
I don't think that they could because technically you're there with them.
Were they though? No, you can. It's broken.
No, they were there first.
Ken and Vixen did it to the cheerleaders.
Oh, as they were there, right?
Go ahead, Tara.
Well, Joey and I had been at the wedding festival for forever. We could not find that little basket with the food with the clue in it. I mean, everybody was in the same boat. People were knocking on people's doors, and little old ladies.
Oh, wow!
You have the clue? I mean, they didn't show any of that. When I saw Scott running across that bar area, I was like, "Oh my God, he's got it! He's got it!" And I don't know if you saw me, but I was booking over there, and we all kind of got there like right at the same time. Their hands were on the board, and I was like, "Oh no, 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 no!" I was making sure they weren't going to get to us. If that had happened, it'd have been all over. If
they had done that, who would y'all have U-turned? Because they could. By the rules of the race, I think they could have. So who would y'all have done?
We wanted the boys and Team Fun to stay in it. We wanted that competition.
Oh, wow.
I feel that's too.
So London and Logan, I'm guessing. Is that you would have done?
Yeah. They just kind of were there.
Yeah, that's the feeling we get. All right, well, that's cool. I like that inside information there. That's because I think a lot could have happened, and technically, if I'm going to use it in that situation, you're the team that I would have U-turned if I was going to use it. But you know how me and Diana ran the race; it was just like we want to fight the toughest, the toughest competitors besides James Earl.
Yep.
Besides me, thank you.
All right, so Becca and Floyd get lost right after Becca compliments Floyd on his navigational skills, and then we learn that while they're driving, they come up and they pull to this cop, and the cop is like, "Yeah, it's right. You have to turn around over there," and you can see there's an area to turn around. Well, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just silly. You can see there's an area to turn around, and the cop is like, "No, you can't turn here." It turns out that the next possible place to turn was 20 kilometers down, so they go 20 kilometers down, 20 back, before they can even get back to make the U-turn. So that's one of the reasons they were so far behind.
That's when you start being like, English no good, and just turn.
Oopsie. Were you guys given any specific instructions about the police or anything while driving? That because we didn't have a self-drive, so is there anything different that you guys got told behind the scenes, maybe, or specific for each country?
No, it was like a free-for-all. Go out there and get at it, and you never know what you're gonna get at that point.
I also found out that Team Fun got a 10-minute penalty for driving too fast in a construction zone or something like that. So they made them pull over. So there is driving penalties on the race that they will never show ever on the race.
And like this, I'm trying not to judge self-driving too hard because we never had to prove ourselves there. So I don't want to be that like footage in the future of like, oh, this is simple, and then you cut to me like first slide didn't eliminate it on some future race
in Alabama trying to get to the airport or something, right?
Right.
All right. Well, I think
I was gonna say. Meanwhile, this is when Mike and Liz.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this whole thing was, because they showed the 4 teams driving, and Mike and Liz were in the front, and then it was Scott and Brooke, Lolo, Matt and Redmond, and everybody went right, and Mike and Liz went left. And this was like what I thought was just such a huge mistake to be making when you have a speed bump. And James, I know how long they drove before they turned around. Take a guess. Take a
guess.
45 minutes.
2 hours. 2 hours before turning around.
Justin, I know one of your cardinal rules, Justin, is never follow. But if you're a team that has trouble with self-navigating, You hold on for dear life. You're like, holy shit, these people are here, and I'm never letting them go.
Yeah, but I also feel like anytime you're on some sort of transportation, you're always looking. I mean, like my first thought was the second that you realize they're not behind you, that's when I feel like you pull over, you look at the map, you reassess. Where are we? Where did we need to go? And you fix it then.
It was an attitude. 2 hours. It was an attitude thing, and I get it. Sometimes you just don't want to be seeing it, and it's like, just navigate. But listen, you're driving for 2 hours, pull over for 5 minutes and check the damn map yourself, Mr. Tough Guy.
All right, Justin. All right.
And here's where I fault them.
I know he's watching.
I fault them a little bit because it wasn't a one-on-one. So it's not like it's me and then Brooklyn stop behind and they take a left. When you see 3 teams, including the team that's doing very, very well, Matt and Redmond, like who've consistently been on the top, you see them pull off with 2 other teams, you need to reassess. Oh, I didn't know 2 hours. God, that is brutal.
Yeah, it was so knowing that made it painful to watch, like their back and forth where Liz is saying, like, I think we should turn around. I think we should turn around. And
then they ended up turning around. So they
well,
once they got up into the middle of the mountaintop,
Liz was like, look, we're going up this mountain, and I'm telling you. And he kind of gets upset at her, and we'll get to more on that interaction later. But it was just, I mean, the first of, the first of, I think, their mistakes that kind of did them in this leg. So
yeah. And this was a stick shift, so that's why certain people were driving and certain people were navigating. It's also why you see London and Logan, where London gets out of the car and pushes it because they don't know how to get in reverse. Turns out you have to push the thing down and then push it in reverse or something like that. Push it in and then push it in reverse, which he didn't do, and they kept stalling. So
the fact that she was a beast to just push that car, though, I was like, I think Logan should probably be the one to push the car. He's the 6'5", like 250 muscle dude.
Yeah, I thought that too, like when I first saw it, but I think for ease, like she was in the back seat, she jumped out. Justin actually had a truck that at one point did not have reverse. So there's been a couple times when we've both stuck our feet out the window. I mean, out the door and had to push the car to go backwards.
That's awesome.
So we drove across the country actually with a car that didn't have reverse. So
fun fact.
That was fun.
Tara is very calm under pressure. She's a great navigator, and we have Joey being a good soldier. Just tell me what to do, and I do it. It's a great character trait for a team, being able to just take direction and go and not question it and not think twice about it. Just take the direction and go. It's a full trust that he has in his partner.
But too, like there's little things that I think also make them like smart. I mean, I always see Tara holding her clue. Mm-hmm. Tara, you always have it. You're always like rereading it and making sure that you're not missing anything, which I just think is so important.
Did you guys talk about this and decide who was going to be what before the race? Before you guys before you guys got really started?
I think it started right away in Panama. I mean, he's a cop, so I know he can drive, and I'm a good navigator. I've been reading maps in the Army for 20 years, or at least I like to think I am.
Well, you seem to be doing better than the rest of them.
You saw the extra interview. We were without errors. I was so hung up on the Arahova thing that he basically had to be like, just shut your mouth. We're doing it my way this time. And I was like, okay, hope this is right. But
get it. Well, it's definitely noticing. It's carrying through a leg after leg, and that's why we're noticing the calm under pressure and being able to work as a team for 2 people who don't know each other. It's really awesome. So 4 teams are following each other. Mike and Liz go left. Everyone else goes right. I don't get it. Team Lolo falls behind after that, and then it's Brooke and Scott, Matt and Redmond. And they get into all these stick shift issues, and they're gone, and they're just losing. And this seems to be a habit for them as well. They get there, they're like in the pack, and then they just fall back, but just far enough to stay in it. I think next week is when they're done. But do we see anything redeeming qualities that say London and Logan have a chance to make it to like the top 3?
Stranger things have happened. There is no way they're winning this race.
Yeah, I feel like they would have built their characters more by now.
Yeah, we know who they are.
Like, I don't know where they fall, but if they win this race, I will be shocked, only because, and I think they did it well with the producers handed us this answer, is at the end when they're jumping up and down, being like excited about 4th place with only 6 teams, and they're like, this is our best week ever. I think, no, but like that, they did that. So I'm just commenting on what they did. because it makes me sound like an awful person. And please don't hate me, London and Logan, but I just don't think you can win at this point. Maybe they'll shock me. Maybe I'll be floored, but I don't see it.
Yeah, Melissa Baker in the chat room, she thinks that, you know, they're not a top team, but they're gliding through.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Listen, I would have looked at Logan and thought if he would have been one of the people that I might have picked if I was in the schoolyard pick him as well. But then I'm seeing him race and there's nothing. It doesn't do anything bad, doesn't do anything great. There's just okay at everything. And I'm waiting to see their challenge that they just excel at, something that they're just like, pew, and just fly past people. I don't see it for them. So what are you going to do? London gets out. Tara and Joey dancing. All right. They have no idea
Get to the U-turn.
where the U-turn board was.
U-turn.
How long were you
Clark.
dancing?
Oh, we were running around like chickens with our heads cut off. We had been there for a while before Brooke and Scott
10 minutes?
pulled up.
Half hour?
In fact, we were there so long. At one point, Joey drove the car like down the donkey trail.
What?
It was hilarious. He almost like went off a ditch.
What did the clue say? What did the clue say? Just go to this place to get your next clue?
It didn't say like have a basket of fun or something?
The marked parking spot.
Oh.
Gotcha.
So we were
Marked
in the
parking.
middle of that village on the donkey trail.
That's awesome.
All right.
Usually the people looking out their windows are like, what the hell are these people doing?
Yeah, they're like,
Yes.
I've never seen a car on this little path before.
Yeah. So the U-turns go down, and I don't know. Mike is furious. He's just furious, and then Liz jumps in on it, and they're both going back and forth about. Listen, I helped. She promised. They go back to the flashback.
I think that's natural, though. They're venting. They felt like they were lied to and betrayed.
They have a right to be.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm defending it. Like, they're venting. They're upset. They're frustrated. They just got lost for 2 hours before turning around. So that's another 2 hours then to go back to wherever you were. But the crazy thing is that
Wait, hold up. That wasn't total time? No. Hold on. I'm sorry to backtrack.
No.
That was 2 hours one way.
Before they turned around.
Oh, God. That just made it double worse.
Yes, General. But the crazy thing is that they get to the U-turn board before Becca and Floyd.
Still.
So Becca and Floyd
They got lost twice, 2 separate times.
just must have really messed up.
Like
as
I said,
well.
I'm trying not to judge because I've never done a self-driving lead, but like, oh my God, 2 hours driving one way.
Yeah.
That makes my stomach turn because that's a lot of time to try to make up. And I'm not.
That's 4 hours.
Yeah, and then we see Team Fun with the almost opposite reaction to being U-turned. Like, you know what? This is Team Fun. It's going to ever be Team Fun. Positivity. We're going to get through this.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Now, in Mike and Liz's defense, I think they were more upset that Brooke and Scott U-turned them because they had promised they wouldn't. I think that's what they were getting hung up on. Not necessarily like, oh, we got U-turned. It's like, we helped them, they promised, and they U-turned us.
Do you think if somebody else U-turned them, like if a Lolo U-turned them, that they would have been as upset?
I think they would have been a little downtrodden, but I don't think they would have been like, thanks, London Logan, thanks, we helped you out there. I don't think we would have gotten that reaction.
Now, Tara, you guys were almost like becoming the sweethearts of the season. I think you just made a shit ton of enemies. How has been the social media backlash since U-turn and Team Fun?
I'm not on that very much, I have to say. But what I have seen, I've been like, there's always going to be naysayers, You got to ignore that stuff.
It's like you guys were like doing well. Everybody's like, "Yeah, we love Team Mom and Dad." Oh no, you didn't, Team Fun.
I will say I have to eat my words because I'm pretty sure when Joey was on here, I was like, there is no way Mom and Dad will ever U-turn Team Fun. I was like, there's no way. Don't prove me wrong.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, it was a pretty bold move.
Was it really to help them?
Yeah.
Becca and Floyd are awesome. Oh, absolutely. We wanted Mike and Lizzie to have a fighting chance, and Becca and Floyd weren't there. Nobody knew at that point, so we thought, all right, let's let them go head to head.
Wow.
Mike is in the chat room.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Mike, please don't
Guys,
hate me.
I have to run inside.
At least
Okay.
I'm losing battery. Let me go inside and find a charger.
Sorry, Jen.
I do think also from a strategy standpoint, though, Team Fun is not the worst person to U-turn because if by some grace of God they're out, that's one less competition.
Right.
And I don't think they'll be vindictive. So we're doing our live YouTube show. If you want to watch, it's cool. You
I don't
can
know
watch.
why he answers.
I didn't know if she wanted to jump
It's all
in.
right, Kathy.
And my dad and my stepmom called. I thought they were trying to chime in because they watch live. All right, so here we are. We're at the detour for the bride, for the groom. Do you want to go get some cheese with the donkeys, or do you want to run up some stairs in a race?
I feel like both detours in the same location again with a U-turn board again. I think it's designed like that to give people a little bit of a chance to get U-turned and still have a fighting chance. But I think that's frustrating.
Mom and I had some rules before the race, and one of them was we would absolutely, positively not do any challenge with donkeys if we could avoid it.
One of the most stubborn animals, and it's cost people the race before in the past.
Exactly.
And Corey said him and Tyler would do the stairs. I think Diana and I would definitely do the stairs because of the animal thing. The only animal thing we wanted to get involved with were anything to do with elephants, dolphins, or like seals, like those type of animals.
Yeah, I would not have dealt with donkeys, so Mom and I would have done stairs.
Yeah, we were stairs. What was the decision process for you, Tara?
I'm sorry, you guys. I lost you. What are you talking about?
No problem. We're talking about the detour. Why would you go with the stubborn donkeys rather than going with the physical task of running up the stairs?
That's a great question. I don't know if you guys caught this anywhere along the way, but I had a bum quad. I pulled it in Brazil.
Wow.
And yeah, it was really bad. I just didn't want to do the stairs. I didn't want to run. I didn't want to sprint.
No, makes sense. Makes sense.
And we had seen the donkey trail. Remember, we drove down that road.
Yeah.
Oh, so you
I
feel
knew
like you
exactly
already knew
you were
where it
going.
was.
Yeah.
Hey, we already got the trail. I guess that works. I think one of the rules for us was trying to stay away from animals that could cost us the race, or we weren't in control. At least in a physical leg, we're in control. It's our heart. How much heart do we have to get up those stairs? Because our body can take it, but can our brain, can our heart?
Can our hearts?
Can our hearts get us up those stairs?
I know, right?
That's right. And it wasn't really a race. It wasn't a race. Hot. You gotta have hot. It wasn't really a race, as you could see from Mike huffing and puffing and stopping. What the guy he was more like a pace car. He wanted to keep a certain pace for you, so you didn't have to beat him really up there. You just kind of had to.
You're sprinting. I couldn't have kept pace with him.
Yeah, but did you see Mike? He stopped. It's not like
it's tough.
and he didn't have to go back down and restart. He did because he didn't read them.
Well, I agree with Justin. I think it was something to make TV a little more interesting, because if you just like showed two people a flight of steps and was like walk up or run up them.
They're showing you.
Yeah.
They're showing you how fast people really do it.
Yeah, this is the way you're supposed to do it. Yeah, so that's the kind of way we go. Tara, again, is the leader. Joey, awesome worker. She's like, here, looking at the clue. All right, pick that up, put it over on the donkey, throw this thing up there. And he's like, all right, got it going on. I don't know if he drives a horse back in Boston. I know they got some horse cops out there. I don't know if he's one of them. You threw the saddle on pretty well. Go, Joey. I like that they had to break the dishes to get their next clue.
Yeah, that was fun.
I like that. Feels very Greek to me.
See, and I kind of thought that would have been a great task. Like you have 1,000 dishes, and it was like, break the dishes to find your next clue.
Bite the chocolates to get the clue. Like with Charlotte.
I thought that would have been so much fun.
A huge room of plates, and you go in there and have to break them one at a time. Whoop-a, whoop-a. That would have been so cool.
I like it. And honestly, remember those challenges in the future. If you're in the back of the path, those are the best ones to go to, especially if they've been cleared out by some folks already.
There you go.
People in the chat room are talking that Speedy McSpeederson is the hero the world needs.
Speedy McSpeederson.
The donkey.
Oh, yeah. They're naming him Donkey. I'm just going to name him Donkey. London and Brooke both step in donkey poop. Just a fun fact. I don't know if that's going to cost them a leg at some point. Mike and Liz struggle racing up the stairs. Did we expect that? Yes. Okay, we expect that. And then they do what every racer should never do. Read the damn
If you're rewatching the seasons to find out what not to do,
Read the clue. Read the clue.
That's what you should
is the
do.
first and second things you should do. Read it and then
Read
read
it
it again.
That is fair. It has cost many a people many a good race.
People yell at me and be like, "Oh, didn't you know it was a wind and you could probably take the fast forward?" It's happened once in the history of the race with Amy and Jason, and but reading the clue has happened like 10, 12, 15 times. Read the damn clue. No excuses. Sorry, at that point you deserve to go home. Right?
Oh, that's
Am I being mean?
harsh. That's a little harsh.
well, that's
Come on,
the
you're cutting down to
second.
the nitty
Well,
gritty.
too, I feel like that's the second mistake. When you have a speed bump that just was avoidable. Like they wouldn't have been eliminated if they would have stopped sooner and read their clue.
And the same thing could be said about
100%.
the same thing could be said about us when we took the wrong ferry in Macau and Hong Kong. Like that, we deserve to go home for. We deserve to go home for that. Like I understand that. I would expect somebody to say you deserve to go home for that, but we fought back because Diana rocks. So we wound up staying in. It happens here that they make the most iconic mistake and not reading the clue, so they have to run all the way back up the stairs to get another goat.
I'm gonna be honest. If I was Liz, I'd have been like, "Oh, damn it! Like, can I just stay? I have my goat."
Yeah, but I feel like she motivated him on the way up.
Well,
So-
she had to go. You had to.
Right.
And it's unfortunate because that is a lot of steps after a very long lead and a lot more left to go.
Yeah. Well, the next part of the task was pretty simple. They had to drive to the Panasonic Stadium, something like that, right? The first modern Olympics was held there in 1864, which I think is iconic. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's what the Amazing Race should be doing, places they should be going. I would have loved to have like a head-to-head style, like the Canadian version, where you had to
The face-off?
Yeah, well, the face-off is what they call it in Canada, where two teams go and you can't move on until you beat one of the other teams. So I think that would have been cool in like a foot race or a relay race or something like that. One partner runs, passes to another partner. I think that would have been cool. Another way to add another level. But at least they got the iconic do a lap.
I will say, I think Mike and, not Mike, good Lord, Joey and Tara's military background came out a little bit here because they kept their badges on. They're like, yeah, we're used to running with our badge. We're just going to keep on trucking.
Yeah, why'd you keep your packs on?
I actually said to Joey, drop your bag. And he's like, no, let's keep them on. I mean, we did everything with our packs on.
And y'all have some big old
Are you guys
packs.
there?
I'm just saying.
Yeah. You guys still
I
have
spotty connection. Are you guys there?
We're here.
Yeah, we're here.
We hear you.
Yeah, you still have huge packs, though. I would think somebody with a military background would have broken down and got smaller packs at this point.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear
They
me?
could, yeah.
Maybe not.
They could because they can.
Right. Well, actually, yeah, they're beasting it still. We can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. It's definitely a little patchy. Oh well. All right. So they had to do a victory lap. Tara and Joey were the only teams to do it with their packs on. Redmond immediately starts and wipes out, busts on his face. There's an animated GIF online if you'd like to see it, or GIF. Actually, now it's called a GIF.
It was, at least you took it in humor because he was like posting it, laughing about it.
Yeah, like we can't do it.
What is she doing?
She's under a table or something.
Or she's charging, so she's probably like sitting on the floor.
Oh, bless your heart.
Can you hear us?
I'm in the yoga studio. Well, it's not really a yoga studio.
Well, it's just funny because like the video was up and you were like cat crawling across the screen.
Look, she was in downward facing dog.
I have bad signal, so I had to open the window.
Listen, you have a better signal in Afghanistan than Corey does
in
at like some
Mexico.
resort in Mexico. So
Yeah, but he's in Mexico, so.
True.
yeah, he wins. All right, so what are we looking at here? Floyd is sure. Yes, he's sure, Becca. Oh, yes, he's sure. Yeah, and then she drove past it right after he said 100 times sure. Then
But
she
this
turned
was
around.
later.
Huh?
That was later.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, this was like right. Well, I
It
mean,
was
it's
on
in
the way to
going
the-
to the same challenge.
It's on the way to this challenge. later in the episode, but it's on the way to this
Gotcha,
part.
gotcha.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I know you.
I thought that they, found out that they're getting U-turned.
Nah, what do
They
you
do
say?
both sides.
Yes. For the speed bump on this part, Liz and Michael, they had to go right across the street, right?
I hated this. I thought this was stupid.
She hated that part. I like the challenge. It turns out to be the perfect challenge for a butcher, and they nailed it in 10 minutes, but
One, okay.
Well, the thing I didn't like about it was not necessarily the challenge, is where it was in the episode. When the speed bump is showing up at around 54 minutes into the episode, I know things aren't going well for that team.
yeah,
but I also feel like, okay, one, it was pretty much across the street. And I like, for me, I thought an appropriate speed bump would have just been to do like 5 laps or, do a certain number of laps around the track. I feel like that's your penalty for not pushing it harder, running faster the leg before. Literal speed bump. You can only finish this as fast as you can run. I don't know. I thought the meat thing was a little just misplaced, and
it's a little bit of their culture.
Well, I think the speed bump is it's a slight penalty that if you perform well on the leg, it shouldn't affect you. And I think this was the perfect example of that. So if you had given this to a Matt and Redmond or a Tara and Joey, that would have been just a blip on the radar, which is what it should be. I don't think it should be something that completely hinders you, but I think it should be like what it is, a speed bump. If you're driving, your speed bump is going to slow you down a bit, but your little ass can just keep on plowing through.
All right, how long do you think a speed bump should take?
I would say, right, Tanner and Josh got a little screwed on that, but I think a good speed bump is like 10 to 15 minutes. Because most of the time, I think roadblocks are like 30 minutes, detours are like an hour to hour 15. That's what they usually end up being.
Liz said that it took 10 minutes, so.
I don't know. That's my personal preferences.
Yeah, him being a butcher definitely helped.
Is he in the chat room?
Yeah, he is in the chat room. You just no, he was.
Who?
Wasn't he?
Who?
Mike.
No, I don't think that's
Beekman boys
Mike.
had to eat an ice cream. Yeah. Oh, eat an ice cream. That's great. And they ate the wrong one, right? They had to go to a second place to eat another one.
Yeah, poor Tanner and Josh. That roadblock they did took like an hour.
Yeah, that was
speed bump.
Yeah, that speed bump was tough. But the big tough guys. So they had to make a big tough speed bump. Now, Mike is a butcher and he rocked it. So let's head to this roadblock. All right, this is where the soldier comes into play here. What?
Just really quick. So I don't know how far the stadium was to the road. Oh, stadium to the roadblock was close, but from the detour to the roadblock was like 2 hours. It was like a 2 hour.
Oh, wow.
Is that right, Tara? It was about 2 hours from. Okay.
It was the second part of the self-drive. So
Good Lord. So let's
Mm.
go ahead.
Yeah, from the wedding in that little village, Arahova, to Athens, it was another long hike. I mean, it was 2 hours. Joey and I went to the wrong stadium first. We went to like the more modern, like where they have soccer games and stuff. And then we were like, this is not it. And we had to find our way back into the heart of the city to find the Olympic Stadium.
Oh, wow.
That's the good thing about being when you're in the front of the pack, they don't show any of your mistakes. Mom had some bad mistakes in Africa that they were just like, nope, not showing that. So enjoy it when you're in the front. I need to recap this to get my head around it. So y'all took a plane from Italy down to Greece, then took a 16-hour ferry, then a 2-hour drive, then the detour, then another 2-hour drive, then that little roadblock, then to the pit stop. Good God, this leg is like 32 hours.
It was a long leg, yeah.
Wow, I like it. Corey said that both speed bumps in his season took 10 to 15 minutes too. So our season was a little uneven. All right, I loved watching Joey here watch Tara doing the roadblock. He's sitting here hiding behind the pillar, like ducking, so Tara doesn't think he's judging. I don't want to think I'm judging her. I don't judge her. I just don't want to think I'm judging. Would you have thought he was judging you if he was watching?
The last thing I was doing was looking to see if Joey was judging me.
Yeah, and I think too, like he didn't want to look because then maybe the pressure's on a little more. I don't know about judging, but
yeah, he was just like, I don't want to put any pressure on her. I don't want to think I'm judging. I don't want to look, but I want to look. I don't want to see him looking. It's a cool character developing for him. He's becoming a real memorable character.
this is a thing I want to point out, and this is an example. I think the teams that have bonded so well that you almost forget are strangers. Like these people were strangers 15 days ago are the ones that are doing the best. Like I think the 3 teams that have bonded the best with their teammate is Matt and Redmond, Team Fun, and Mom and Dad. Like I think it's showing.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, definitely work well together. If they get into arguments, they get over quickly and move on, and that's key. And Tara goes, and she didn't get it on her first try because she had a little issue with the
her hand
little placement here. But the second try, you nailed it. Second, or did they show? They showed 2.
I'm sorry.
They showed 2 tries on television. I don't know how many tries you actually took to get the color guard roadblock.
Twice. Yep.
It was
Boys.
Yep.
Nice. Good job. And it seemed like somebody with Brooke did it almost as fast. Did she do it on her second try as well?
Yes. She
She
did do
did
like
a
the
great
cricket.
job. Brooke did a great job. Yeah.
This is the one time that she had a chance to shine because for me, it's like, wait, she's going up against the soldier and she almost caught you to the point where they were like, wait a second, we might be racing for first against you. So that was really impressive. So as much junk as I give her, I got to give her some credit here because I think
they weren't running for first. They were running for second. Matt and Redmond is who they were facing against, wasn't it?
No, because Scott said
think so.
we could be racing. Oh, yeah, he thought
Well, he was like, we could be racing for first.
Right, but they were really with Matt and Redmond.
they didn't know.
So he
Right,
didn't know.
that's right.
Gotcha.
I think Tara and Joey they didn't even see them,
they
did
were
you?
gone.
I remember seeing Brooke there, I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that's the way it worked. I thought all 3 of them were there.
No, this is
because
what
he
it
had
was.
5 somebody.
Tara and Joey finished quickly. Brooke finished right after. Redmond or Matt finished right after, but Brooke and Scott got lost on the way to the pit stop.
Right.
So Tara and Joey beat them there, and then Redmond beat Brooke and Scott because they got lost.
All that being said, it was a strong lead for Brooke and Scott. It was.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I think
this is where Brooke had her opportunity to shine. It wasn't something that she could even say, I can't do this because this is exactly what she wanted. Something that, dance or even a drill almost is
choreography.
Yeah.
And this is a distinction that I like to make with Flo again is Flo wouldn't have done this. Brooke is at least doing this.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Team Mom and Dad are blowing everyone out the water.
Did you guys see how Redmond called Matt a little Christmas tree ornament?
They are so adorable. I can't even handle it.
That's what I mean. They're so cute.
That-
And like you said, they've only known each other, but they've just clicked, and it's just, they're so cute.
You know what's cool? It's like Redmond has this cool confidence about him. Nobody can tell him who he is or what he is because he knows. Like, dude, you're a freaking hero. Like, no matter what you do for the rest of your life, you're a hero.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you see this. I think what makes Redmond so unique is he shocks you. So if like you look on paper and if you just saw this dude in the street, you'd be like, holy shit, this is like some really tough like asshole. He's like this military guy who probably doesn't want anyone's shit. And I'm sorry, that's the look he gives. But then in reality, he was skipping down the ferry lane. Like I'm not saying ferry is gay, like literally going to the ferry.
You said F-E-R-R-Y.
F-E-R-R-Y, like skipping down the ferry lane with Scott, and it's adorable. Didn't even mean for that pun. I'm sorry, but like he's just full of surprises, and I love people that surprise me, and he does.
Yeah, he's a beast, man.
Redmond is incredible. Matt is awesome. They're great. I love them.
Scott has the line of the episode, hands down here.
Oh my gosh, I had to replay this twice.
Yeah, we both replayed it. So he's so excited, Brooke. Oh my god, we could be racing for first. It's a foot race though.
Second's fine.
Second's fine.
Oh, it's so good.
He's definitely trying to match Tyler and Corey with the lines. He's doing a good job this season. Scott doing a good job, but you didn't get the damn episode title again. That would have been great. It's a foot race. Second's fine.
I want to say a quick comment on Tara and Joey is I know they had like a middle of the pack first and second lead, but they have done what I call a finale finish ever since then, where they're in the top 3 places. I'm just saying, like they're doing a strong showing, and they have not let up since they've gotten in their groove.
It took us a minute to get warmed up because don't forget, leaving Panama, we were on the second flight. And in that first leg of the race, we were okay with being where we were. We didn't want to come out of the gate, the fastest horse. So.
Oh, I'm not judging at all. I'm saying, like, y'all scare me. Like, there's two teams I would not want to race against right now, and it's y'all and Matt and Redmond. Like, I would be okay racing against the other teams, and they may kick my butt, but I don't want to race against y'all too.
That's it. It's what I told James earlier and Mama. I don't want to race against them. I love them. They're great friends, but I don't want to race against them. He knows all my secrets. He has his own.
Do.
And he has his own. He didn't tell me. So
you don't know my secrets, though.
All right. So Brooke still has to pee. Just FYI. So she stepped in poop. She still has to pee. Just want to make sure that we got that on this episode. Let's get to the beautiful pit stop, the Acropolis, another iconic.
I'm sorry. I just feel like Brooke and I have this part in common, that she clearly just says what's in her head. Because this is exactly what I feel like I do. Sometimes I don't know where this comes from, and I'll just say something, and Justin will be like, that's why I love you, because that comes out of nowhere.
Oh, I stepped in donkey poop. Okay, hope that means good luck.
Or I still have to pee.
Just ready to go. And then just out of nowhere, I still have to pee. All right, thanks for the update. So Team Mom and Dad, $7,500. How you feeling, $7,500?
Make sure you save like a third of that for taxes.
Yeah, well, military, she may be different. I don't know how that works.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, they still take it. Well, I'm finishing strong again. Team Mom and Dad jumping back to the pack after a back-to-back third place finishes. Coming back to the top again. And then followed closely by Matt and Redmond. And if you've seen Matt, if you go to Redmond's page, you have to see what Redmond's stump looked like.
Oh, my
I am shocked they did not pull him from this race. That looks so bad.
Yeah. It's a
It
skin,
looks so bad.
skin infection. I know. I saw that.
It literally looks like his top layer of skin is completely off. And he has like a cellulitis, and he has some flaking of the skin.
It's red.
And
God.
James Rell is a doctor, for those of you who don't know.
No,
so.
I already I messaged Redmond. No, Tara, that's true. It's not a laugh. I really am. I know I don't look like it, but I really am.
So when he says it's bad, I looked at it and I'm like, oh. And you know what's funny? Because the first thing I was like, oh, I want to peel that skin because I like peeling stuff, which is kind of disgusting. I get it.
See, I don't even think that's top layer skin you'd be peeling. That's like sub layers of skin you'd be peeling.
That looks blistered. Yeah.
Well, he is a beast, man.
Guys, he is a machine. After we ran up Axla, he had to take the fake leg off, and I couldn't believe he was still able to walk. It was unreal. He's a machine.
And we haven't heard him complain once, at least in the edit.
No, he's always laughing.
Which means he did not. Because if he had, that would have been on TV.
Absolutely.
So kudos to you, brother.
Yeah,
man.
he hasn't even said anything about how his leg has been a hindrance or has stopped them in any way, like slowed him or stopped him in any way, shape, or form. And you know that they would have said that if he said it. So
absolutely.
I think about him every day. He is my motivation. And whenever I start to get down or want to complain, I'm like, Redmond didn't even complain once. How can I complain about my quad,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Kelsey had broke a damn tailbone, and we didn't know about it until after the episode. I mean, after the race was over. So, I mean, that's what winners do. Winners fight through, and that's one of the reasons they won, because they pushed through the pain. Scott, hello. You're handsome. And then Phil.
He was. I was right there with Scott. I thought the same damn thing.
Phil was like, and he's available. Did Phil know something that we didn't know?
I feel like,
I don't know, but my digits. Give him. Phil, you got my digits, dude.
What do you think, Tara? Was he a hottie?
Yeah, he was cute.
He was a
Greek
great
boy,
Yeah, I was gonna say a Greek god.
A Greek god, yes. That's exactly what you
said. Like all hail.
Oh, that was amazing too. What a great pit stop location.
At night too. I like the way it was looking.
By the way, Corey was also thirsting for the greeter.
Sorry.
It was my baby boy's 3rd birthday, and the sun was setting. I mean, I was crying. They didn't really show that. It was a moment.
Oh, but you won. That's so exciting. Like, what a special thing to come home and then to tell your son, like, when he gets older, Mommy won on your birthday. I got pooped on the morning of when we won our big leg. So I was like, that's good luck somewhere.
Got pooped on by a seagull.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and Rick got stung by a bee.
Oh.
But you didn't make it rain because of that win.
We go in, we get married. And then Team Lolo, what? Team Lolo is stoked. 4th place. Woo, woo, best we've ever done.
We didn't say, though, they completed the detour. They completed the roadblock. They got to all their locations fine. And then they came in 4th. That's the stuff that we didn't say.
Like I said, I don't think they're bad people because I've pointed out the glimpses of their personality we've got. I think, unfortunately, they are just good enough racers to stay in, but not bad or good enough to be front or back. So that's why we haven't gotten to know them, which is it's not a diss to them. Thank God they haven't been at the very back of the pack or we would have seen them more.
Ask Kelsey and Joey. You only need to win 1 leg. Right, and they're hanging in there long enough. You hang in there long enough, you just find your rhythm and win. That's the way. Go for it, man. I don't think they have a chance, but I love that London's attitude towards the race. I think Logan's a good partner, the strong, silent type. He's a beautiful guy to look at, if nothing else. And Team Mike and Liz.
Yeah, Tara, can we talk about that real quick? How pretty is he in real life? Is it like better in real life than on TV?
Are you guys talking about McDreamy?
Yes, McDreamy.
Oh,
He
boy.
is the perfect specimen of a man.
I'm telling you, that smile just melts hearts.
Green eyes, dark hair, 6-pack abs.
Sarah's got it going on, then lucky Sarah.
Yes, and they are together.
He and Sarah as a couple, I mean, good.
Oh, they're
I know,
gonna have
like-
pretty babies. They're
Oh
gonna
my
have
God.
pretty babies.
Yeah. Yes, and if you've seen them, and they were seen in Us Weekly this past week. If you missed it, go check out your Us Weekly. You could see them topless. Oh, Logan, his 6-pack abs, not Sarah. Sorry, 6-pack abs. All right, then Team Mike and Liz, no more. They're gone. It's a time for Mike and Liz to be gone after all the mistakes they fought through. I think they're a great team. I think they're going to be friends forever. I think they have a shot at All-Stars too.
I think their biggest hindrance is self-navigating. Not even self-driving. Yes. I think it's self-navigating because they have issues when they were roaming the streets too. So, like, if I was them as a team and I think I'm coming back for All-Stars, you got to learn a map. You got to learn how to, just go pick a town and figure out where you're going and practice.
Yeah, I also feel like, reading the clue. I mean,
Kind
of the basics, navigating and clue reading, or just being overly thorough in that area.
Honestly, that's just a mindset you going into the race because I know, being at the back of the pack, it's nerve-wracking. It's you or one other team. And I was in that moment a couple times, and it can be tempting just to try to keep flying through. So you have to remind yourself before you even race that you're going to have to read the clue thoroughly.
Do you think Team Fun's positive attitude made the difference against Team Mike and Liz and their negative attitude overall in the end? Was that a factor, or was it just the fact that they made the wrong mistakes? Or did they make the mistakes because of their attitude?
It's hard to say because, we're talking 32 hours of footage, and we saw maybe 12 minutes of Mike and Liz. So I think that we got to see a lot of the negativity. I think they just made some major mistakes, but especially when you're telling me they drove 2 hours in one direction, there is no way. I would have gotten out. I would have literally touch and rolled out of the car to make mom stop. I'm not driving 2 hours in one way.
What do you think it was, Tara?
They needed to tighten up their shot group. That's for sure.
Tighten up the shot group. Get a nice 3-round grouping.
That's what I mean. If ever a leg, you run a perfect leg, or you try to cut as many mistakes as you can. This was the leg.
With the U-turn and the speed bump, if they ran the leg without the mistakes, they would have survived.
They would have. They would have survived thanks to Tara and Joey.
I didn't realize how close it was between them and Team Fun until I saw the episode. And if they didn't, if they'd gotten both goats initially, maybe they would have had a chance.
Any one of those mistakes.
Yeah. I feel like if they would have gotten the goats and they could have, because if that only took 10 minutes, maybe it took 10 minutes.
If he would have turned around 10 minutes sooner.
If they would have stuck with the other teams
Yeah, they would have.
They would have blown it out the water. Like
Absolutely.
It would have been hours of. It would have been a lot more footage of Team Fun getting lost. And I know there were some, but there would have been a lot more.
Right.
I agree.
All right. Well, let's get to next week's episode.
We need like our putting in check.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know. Okay. All right, let's do it. Diana, who is getting put in check? I have a feeling I know
Well,
this is
I'm going to speak for Corey's in the chat room, but Corey's LOL moment is Brooke with her. I stepped in poop. I think that's good luck.
Oh!
So that was his LOL moment. But putting in check is going to Mike this week. I feel like the whole car ride, and he was very adamant about not turning around. Liz tried to show him the map. I know things are edited. I've been there. But, Liz trying to show him the map, and he was like, I can't. I'm driving. I feel like, I don't know where it came from, frustrations, but that was something that could have definitely
cost him the race.
Yeah. So, sorry, Mike.
James Earl, who's getting a seal clap?
My seal clap's a little weird this week just because there was a moment of this episode that I loved so much. And it was Tara and Joey dancing at the Greed wedding. That just made me so happy that it just didn't make a seal clap, especially when they're like, oh, yay, where's our clue?
Especially to know that they were there for so long and they're like, all right, who's got the clue? Do you have the clue? Do you have a clue for us?
I lived for that moment.
Leave that wedding. It was so fun.
Diana would have been yelling at me. I'd have loved the dancing. I did all the dancing again, but she'd like, get the clue, Justin. We're not here to dance. Get the clue. So I'm glad that that's
Yeah, that's my seal clap.
For me, the super fan move. I'm actually going to give it to Becca and Floyd as a team for keeping a positive attitude, knowing they're dead last and they got the U-turn. I think the positive attitude is key, and it's something that could have helped me on the race on a couple of legs. And it's something that, if I ever get another shot, will be something I need to work on as well. So keep staying positive the whole time. I think that deserves a super fan move because it's an underrated aspect that people overlook. So good on you. Staying positive. And I want to give a special shout out to Brooke. Did a great job in the challenge. I know I give you a lot of junk, but you nailed it this week. So that's next week. We're heading to Hanoi, Vietnam. Last time we were in Vietnam, lots of controversy on the Amazing Race because of all the things that they showed. We'll see what happens.
What, like things that actually are real and happen in Vietnam?
Yes.
I mean,
I think it was the down B-52, whatever.
Yeah, it was.
We got Scott crying while he's diving off a bridge or something. We got people carrying ladders, getting through weird places. We got mannequins falling all over the place.
Here's the real question, though. Tara, do you speak Vietnamese?
No, but I've been a couple of times before. Absolutely love Vietnam.
Oh, have you been to Hanoi before?
Yes.
Uh-oh, the well-traveled mama.
We might see some more wins in the future.
Wow, inside information.
Join the Army, see the world. Join the Army, see the world.
There you go. Well, we are excited. Next week, who do we expect in first place, last place? Next week, what do we got? Who's coming in first? Who's coming in last?
Well, it's a double episode, so let me just say, I think the first episode is going to be our non-limit. It's going to be our last one. If it's not, I'm going to be shocked because that means episode 11 and 12 are just for 3 teams. So one of these is going to be our non-limbs. It has to be.
I agree. Yeah.
I am going to say that it's finally going to be Brooke and Scott's time to be at the back.
Woo!
But I think they're going to be saved.
Okay.
My winning team, I'm going to give lead 1 to Matt and Redmond and lead 2 to Tara and Joey.
Okay.
Who I think is ultimately leaving is going to be London and Logan. So I think Brooke and Stott last first episode, London Logan last in the second episode.
Wow. What about you, Lady D?
I'm trying to decide where I've.
All right, I can tell you. I think for sure. I think London and Logan are coming in last both episodes, and it's time for them to go home. I think that it's getting down to.
Do they get saved? Do you think it's a non-limb?
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, again.
So last and last.
Unless it's going to be 4 people. No, it has to be.
It would be 3 people racing in lead 11, which would be weird.
Yeah, it's going to be one of them's going to be a non-limb. I think it's going to be London and Logan both times. I think they're gone. I think Brooke and Scott are going to win this first leg. I have a feeling. And then it's time It's time for the showdown. It's going to be down to the wire. Matt and Redmond, team mom and dad, like a very, very close down to the wire. Matt and Redmond are going to beat them out. That's how I feel.
Hey, can I talk about averages real quick?
Yes.
Absolutely. Bring it on.
Okay, so here's the thing that I want to mention is there is a big gap in these averages right now. So I'm actually just going to go to top to bottom right now.
Yeah,
Coming
just
in
go
at
with
first.
who's still here.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with the first who's here. Matt and Redmond are at 2.625.
Ooh.
Tara and Joey are right on their tails at 3. Becca and Floyd aren't too far behind at 3.5. And then I want to say there's a huge jump of 3 eliminated teams in there of Seth and Olive, Liz and Mike, and Becca and Ashton before we hit Brooke and Scott and London and Logan. So Brooke and Scott are 5.125 and London and Logan are 5.75. So again, both of their averages can only improve regardless.
If they're coming last, they're still improves. That's crazy.
So like I said, it is a marathon, not a sprint. So they are still in it. They still have a chance for $1 million, but it's not looking good for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see it. I think we have a clear top 3 on who's.
Oh, we absolutely have a clear top 3 within these 5. That doesn't mean we'll end up with that top 3 because, like I said, stranger things have happened.
So
it only
Corey,
takes one bad challenge.
Corey says, I hope Tara and Joey have a couple more wins so they can be in the 5 wins club.
5 wins club. All right, let's ask a simple question. Has any team been eliminated so far that you think has a chance at All-Stars?
Oh, God. That's been eliminated so far?
So we had Jesse and Francesca.
No.
Seth and Olive.
Well, here's the thing, though. I feel like all-stars are people that have proven themselves that have gotten eliminated later in the race. Like, I don't think it's going to be a first, second, third, fourth.
Well, here's the thing. Let's just be honest. Shamir and Sarah aren't going to race again. Like, not as a team.
Right.
Actually, Sarah and London might, Logan might get invited.
Right. Jesse and Francesca aren't. Kevin and Jen aren't. I don't think Victor, Ashton, Seth or Olive have a shot at an early, they unfinished business season, but not necessarily an all-star season. Yeah. If I'm looking at teams that are left, I'm going to say that the top 3 teams like Matt and Redmond, Tara and Joey, and Becca and Floyd are shots at all-stars.
Yeah, whoever doesn't win, the other 2 should get invited back.
That's what I have to say.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. We're speaking of All-Stars because, as everybody's heard, season 30 is coming back. We are back, so thank you, Tara, not only for serving our country, but for helping to save the amazing race.
Oh, you guys, it's been such a pleasure. I feel like the luckiest girl in the world, even though I'm sitting in Afghanistan just to be here with you now.
Well, we really appreciate you taking the time.
We're fortunate to have you, too, especially right after Mother's Day and being in Afghanistan. I think you're the farthest guest we've ever had. So.
Yeah, for furthest away. So we really appreciate it. So I am looking forward to another great episode. Next week's guest will be Liz. She's going to come on here and give us all the dirt on Mike and the behind-the-scenes stuff that we missed and what's been going on since. Because you got to remember, it's been a year since these guys have raced, so there's a lot that's going on since. So, Tara, we really appreciate it. Is there anything else?
We hope we get to, meet you over the summer or
the finale party
somewhere. No, she's in Afghanistan. Okay.
She can get a special leave.
My heart's breaking.
I know. We look forward to meeting you someday.
Is there anything else that you want to get out?
Diana, Justin, sending nothing but love to you guys. Take care.
Right back at you.
Thank you. Guys, anything else we want to get out before we get out this door? Anything I missed?
Nope.
I got nothing.
All right. Well,
it was a pleasure, Tara.
Thank you so much, Corey, for hanging in there from Mexico. Tara from Afghanistan. Later.
Bye.
Bye.